Hey everyone, welcome back to the Narcissist Exposed channel. I hope you're protecting your peace and healing one day at a time. Today we're diving into one of the darkest and most disturbing truths about narcissists. There's sickening joy in watching others suffer. It's not just cruelty for cruelty's sake, it's psychological feeding. By the end of this video, you'll understand why your pain feels like pleasure to them, and how you can break free from their emotional trap once and for all. Narcissists don't just cause pain by accident. They need it. Pain is their mirror, the reflection that confirms they still have power. When they see you struggling, crying, or doubting yourself, it gives them a rush, a twisted sense of control. It's not empathy they feel. It's excitement. Your suffering proves that they matter, that they still occupy space in your emotional world, even after all the damage they've done. What makes this so horrifying is that narcissists equate pain with proof of love. They'll push you, insult you, and humiliate you, and when you react, they'll smile, even smirk. To them, your reaction says, "I still care." That's the validation they crave. The moment you show hurt, they feel alive. Without that emotional reaction, they feel empty, invisible, and irrelevant. Psychologists call this narcissistic feeding. It's a psychological addiction to emotional chaos. The narcissist doesn't just want your admiration. They want your tears, your fear, your confusion. They thrive on extremes: love or hate, passion or rage. Indifference starves them. Your peace is poison to them because it means they no longer have control over your emotions. This addiction to emotional chaos begins early in their lives. Many narcissists grew up in homes where attention was conditional. They learned that pain, drama, or emotional explosions got them noticed. So, as adults, they recreate that cycle in their relationships. Your suffering becomes the stage on which they perform their superiority. When a narcissist hurts you, they often watch closely. They observe your face, your tone, your reaction, every flinch, every tear, every sigh. It's data to them. They study you like a scientist studying a subject, noting what works, what triggers you, what silences you. The more they learn, the more efficient their cruelty becomes. Over time, your reactions become their entertainment. It's as if your pain fills the void where their empathy should be. They'll provoke arguments just to watch you defend yourself. Then they'll go calm, cold, even amused, as you struggle to explain your feelings. That moment of power imbalance is their drug. You may notice that they often create pain right after a moment of peace. Just when things seem good, they'll make a cutting remark or start an unnecessary fight. Why? Because peace makes them uncomfortable. Peace means equality. They need tension, because in tension, they are in control. Their sick joy isn't always loud or obvious. Sometimes it's subtle, a slight smile when you cry, a calm tone after they've exploded, or a casual shrug when you're hurting. It's their way of saying, "I win." That calmness isn't maturity, it's satisfaction. They've successfully transferred their inner chaos into you. Narcissists often disguise their cruelty as honesty. They'll say they're just being real or giving tough love, but their words are daggers dressed as wisdom. They enjoy watching you question yourself. When you start doubting your worth, they feel stronger. It's a form of psychological domination. The more you try to explain your pain to them, the more they enjoy it. Every explanation you give becomes proof that they still control your emotions. You're still trying to be understood by someone who never intended to understand you. They take your efforts and twist them into ammunition for the next emotional attack. The cycle of cruelty and apology is another tool they use to deepen your dependency. After hurting you, they might apologize just enough to keep you hopeful. Then, when you relax, they strike again. It's emotional conditioning, like teaching you that love equals pain, and once you believe that, they own you. What's terrifying is how normal this feels after a while. You start to anticipate their moods, walking on eggshells, changing your behavior to avoid explosions. You stop recognizing yourself. The narcissist has turned you into an emotional puppet, and every time you react, the strings tighten. They celebrate your limitations in silence. If you lose a job, they act sympathetic but secretly feel relief. Your failure makes them feel safer, superior. They can comfort you publicly while enjoying your fall privately. It's not love, it's control disguised as care. Narcissists thrive on comparison. When you struggle, they see it as proof that they're better. If you succeed, they'll downplay it or take credit. Either way, your achievements and failures both revolve around their ego. Your life becomes a mirror reflecting their insecurity. Have you ever noticed how they react when you're sick or exhausted? Instead of helping, they might become irritated or distant. That's because your weakness disrupts their fantasy of superiority. They don't want to care for you. They want you to need them while they remain untouchable. Their twisted joy is never about sadism alone. It's about dominance. In their world, to feel powerful means someone else must feel small. Every tear, every apology, every moment of guilt is a victory to them. That's why they keep you in a state of emotional exhaustion. It keeps the balance in their favor. When you stop reacting, you'll notice something shift. They'll become frustrated, even panicked. Your silence, your calm, your peace, it terrifies them. Because when they can no longer feed on your pain, they're forced to face their own emptiness. That's why no contact hurts them more than anything. You may catch glimpses of their enjoyment, a smirk, a sigh of relief after hurting you. They'll say, "You're too sensitive," or "You can't take a joke." But what they're really saying is, "I control your emotions." It's psychological warfare masked as humor. Even in public, they can't resist subtle jabs. They'll embarrass you with a joke, expose a secret, or question your memory. They want others to see you vulnerable, confused, or defensive, because every public display of your pain makes them feel important. Behind closed doors, their cruelty intensifies. They gaslight you until you doubt reality itself. They rewrite the past to make you feel crazy. And when you finally break down, they'll smile and say, "See, you're the problem." That moment, your collapse is their confirmation of control. Narcissists love seeing how much they can take from you, your time, your trust, your confidence. Each loss you suffer feeds their ego. Your emotional exhaustion becomes their energy source. That's why they never feel guilty. They see your suffering as evidence of their strength. Sometimes, their joy is masked as indifference. They'll ignore your pain, walk away when you need help, or act like your feelings are an inconvenience. This coldness is deliberate. They're teaching you that your emotions mean nothing unless they choose to use them. What makes narcissistic cruelty so confusing is that they often pair it with moments of kindness. They'll hurt you one day, then show affection the next. This inconsistency keeps you hooked, chasing the version of them who once seemed loving. It's emotional manipulation at its finest. When you start to pull away, they panic. Not because they love you, but because their favorite source of control is slipping away. Suddenly they might become affectionate, apologetic, or nostalgic. Don't fall for it. They don't miss you. They miss the power your pain gave them. A narcissist's greatest fear is emotional irrelevance. When you're no longer reactive, they lose their grip. That's why they'll try to provoke you in new ways. Guilt, pity, or even fake vulnerability. Anything to make you feel again, because feeling means connection, and connection means control. Have you ever noticed how they can turn calm after a fight while you're still shaking? That's because your emotional chaos feeds their sense of order. They drain you to feel balanced. They project their inner instability onto you, then stand back to watch you unravel. They celebrate your silence after hurting you. If you don't confront them, they see it as submission. If you do confront them, they twist it into proof that you're crazy. Either way, they win, unless you stop playing their game entirely. The more you suffer, the more predictable you become. That predictability gives them control. They know which words will make you cry, which silences will make you beg, which gestures will make you hope. You're not dealing with emotion, you're dealing with a script. Narcissists get addicted to your reactions, like a gambler addicted to risk. Every fight is a gamble. Can they still make you feel? When you stop reacting, they lose their fix. That's when you see their rage, their desperation, their fear of irrelevance. The sickest part, they convince themselves they're the victim. When you finally stand up for yourself, they call you heartless, selfish, or cruel. They flip the narrative to protect their ego, because facing the truth that they caused the pain is unbearable. When you finally pull away, something inside them snaps. They can't process rejection like normal people do. To them, your silence feels like erasure. They begin to obsess, replaying moments where they once held power over you. It's not love, it's panic. They can't accept that the person who once fed their ego has learned to starve it. That panic quickly turns into resentment. They start plotting ways to make you feel small again, maybe by spreading rumors or flaunting a new relationship. But deep down, it's not about you. It's about the unbearable void left behind when their control ends. The narcissist's life revolves around dominance. Without it, they lose purpose. Sometimes, you'll see them try to imitate your calm. They'll post quotes about peace, talk about healing, or claim they've grown. But this is another performance, a survival tactic. They don't want healing. They want attention. They're hoping you'll see it and doubt your decision to leave. Inside, though, the truth is darker. When a narcissist can't feed on your pain anymore, they turn on themselves. That inner emptiness becomes unbearable. Their anger doesn't vanish. It mutates. They might become irritable, reckless, or cruel to others. Your absence exposes how hollow their happiness truly was. Psychologists often describe narcissists as emotional parasites. They need constant emotional energy to survive. When you walk away, you're cutting off their life supply. That's why they feel sick when you go no contact. It's not heartbreak, it's withdrawal. You were the drug that numbed their emptiness. They'll often test you with little provocations. A text, a memory, a "how have you been?" It's not genuine concern, it's bait. They want to see if they still have emotional access. If you reply, even with anger, it gives them hope that the connection still exists. Your response, no matter how small, becomes proof of control. When you don't respond, their mask starts to crack. They'll lash out, call you cold, ungrateful, or even cruel. They'll tell others you've changed, that you're the toxic one. This projection helps them avoid the truth, that they are powerless without your reactions. It's how they preserve their fragile ego. Over time, their obsession with your pain becomes self-destructive. They can't stop checking your life, stalking your updates, asking mutual friends about you. They're haunted by your silence, by the realization that you've found peace. That peace is your revenge. It's the one thing they can't fake or steal. The narcissist's twisted joy in your suffering isn't eternal. It fades the moment they realize they can't break you anymore. When you start laughing again, living again, their cruelty turns into confusion. How are they happy without me? They wonder. It's a thought that burns their ego like fire. You might never see their breakdown, but it happens. Alone, behind the mask, they're tormented by shame and rage. They'll blame everyone but themselves. Yet deep down, they know they pushed away the one person who truly cared. That knowledge becomes their private punishment, a wound they'll never admit exists. The irony is that the very thing they mocked you for, your kindness, your empathy, your softness, is what gives you peace now. Those traits they saw as weakness are your strength. Because empathy heals, control destroys. And that's why you recover, while they remain trapped in their own emotional prison. When you finally start thriving, they'll try to rewrite history. We just weren't compatible, they'll say. Or, I tried my best. These diluted versions of the truth help them survive their guilt. They'll never admit how much joy they took in your pain because doing so would shatter their carefully crafted self-image. You'll hear about them acting happy, dating someone new, starting fresh. Don't be fooled. Narcissists can't form new connections. They only recycle the same patterns with new faces. Their new love is just the next source of emotional supply. The performance continues, but the emptiness never leaves. Meanwhile, you'll feel something they never will: growth. You'll start noticing how light your life feels without constant criticism, without walking on eggshells. That peace will feel strange at first, almost uncomfortable. But soon, it will become your new normal, and that's the moment you truly win. Healing doesn't mean forgetting. It means understanding. You'll stop asking, "Why did they do that to me?" and start realizing, they did that because of who they are, not who I am. That shift in perspective is the door to freedom. It's how you stop reliving the pain they caused. The truth is, narcissists don't just enjoy your pain, they depend on it. Every moment you suffer feeds their illusion of power, but once you see through that illusion, their entire game collapses. You hold all the cards now, simply because you stopped playing. Remember, your calm is not weakness, it's strength, disguised as silence. Every time you refuse to react, you're reclaiming a piece of yourself they tried to erase. And slowly, the person you were before the chaos starts to return, stronger, wiser, and untouchable. One day they'll remember you, not because of the pain they caused, but because of the peace you found without them. That peace will haunt them. It's the living proof that their cruelty failed, that their power was temporary, and that love built on control can never last. As you heal, you'll stop feeling the need to prove anything. You won't crave closure, or justice, or even acknowledgement. The best revenge against a narcissist is indifference. The moment you stop caring is the moment they cease to exist in your emotional world. And in that moment, you'll understand something profound. They never truly celebrated your pain. They feared your strength, because your ability to endure, to rise, and to rebuild makes you everything they can never be. Your freedom is their greatest loss, and your peace, their eternal punishment. If this message helped you see through their mask, remember to like, share, and subscribe. Someone out there is still trapped in that cycle, and your engagement might be what helps them find clarity. You deserve a life free from emotional chaos, filled with peace, and grounded in self-respect. Stay strong, stay silent, and always choose yourself, because your peace is the one thing they'll never be able to steal again.